YouTube Talk, the most awesome podcast about YouTube growth that ever existed in the history of the world. I'm Travis here with Jen.
Wow. That was a good sell. That was a new good sell in the history of the world.
I feel like if you say it into existence, it's a real thing.
Are you manifesting today, Travis?
I'm more than manifesting. And I know this because we have a special guest. Once again, he couldn't stay away. He is the face of the main vidIQ channel. It is Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Back by either popular demand or I'm just throwing my clout around and saying, don't you know who I am, and inviting myself back onto the podcast. We'll have to find out by the end of this episode.
I kind of like both options.
Yeah.
They both seem appropriate. We are going to buzzsaw through some stuff. I wanted to go over some stuff, but y'all showed us the love once again. If you're listening to the audio podcast, welcome. If for the first time, we get a lot of new audio listeners. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You'll see a link in the show notes that takes you either to the video version of this, because we actually shoot the video version of this. And if you're watching on YouTube, you see a link to get the audio if you just want to listen to it while you're running or something like that. Some of y'all are in good shape.
Running. Just specifically running. Runners
specifically. Only. Nothing else.
And if you are watching on YouTube, hey, folks.
Hey, look at that.
I'm properly cropped today. I am under extreme pressure to make sure that I don't do the entire podcast like that. Because apparently, the last time, you could see half my face. And I do apologize for that. So I should know this, given that I've done YouTube for 16 years and live stream every single week. But Travis throws a new streaming program at me, and I don't know how to use it.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, or if you only listen to the audio, didn't see the video, a couple weeks ago when Rob was on, we had a three-way split like we do right now, and he just was kind of floating off to the side, so his face was cut off. So I'm trying to edit the thing, and I'm like, this is tragic.
I can only imagine the conversations online, like, Rob, what have you done?
I just sent him screenshots. I'm like, bro, this is what I'm working with. Appreciate you.
You sent me screenshots, and I kind of thought, oh, yeah, that's going to be a big, horrible fix. And I was just kind of blasé about it and pretended it wouldn't be an issue.
Didn't even think about it again.
Yeah, just whatever.
All right.
It's not my problem.
It's definitely not your problem. All right.
Don't you know who I am?
There it is, the big clout. All right, let's get into some of these messages. These first ones are going to be from the, again, when you're listening to the audio, there's a link you can click to text us. So let's go to those first. Hey, Travis and Jen, love your show on the new YouTube channel. I have a question. How risque is too much for YouTube? I do 3D, but this is funny. The first thing he says, I do 3D prints and paintings of comic book, anime, and video game characters. So it doesn't sound that bad. I don't go out of my way to make them sexual, but a lot of them turn out that way, especially the female characters. It's nothing R-rated. Okay. Usually it's the same outfits that are on the cover of comic books or manga. Comments on my videos are usually supportive, but there are a few videos that I've had to disable comments because of either people getting creepy or going off about males destroying the moral fabric of the country with their vanities. Please help. Thanks for all you do. Love you guys.
Quite the community.
This is a great question. This is a fantastic question. Obviously, we know that Rob is overly sexualized in the live streams here on vidIQ.
What?
You're always wearing bikinis and stuff on the live stream. You need to stop that, Rob.
Oh, boy.
So this is a really interesting question because I think it comes down to the fact that you can't control necessarily who your audience is and who's watching. Jen, as a woman on YouTube, we talked about this once before, like, it's difficult, right? Like, you have these random people. Like,
I know. Sometimes you just do something like so innocent, and then you just have someone in the comments. You're just like, whoa, sorry.
Yeah, you went there.
Oops. But yeah, you can't control who ultimately ends up there. I mean, if the content is fine and YouTube's not flagging it as mature and restricted, then I think you're good. Set up comment filters so you don't have to deal with that. But I mean, it sounds like you're comfortable with it. Sounds like the rest of the audience is comfortable with it. Sounds like it's normal within the community of, you know, what other people are doing, what's expected. I'm not super familiar with it, but I mean, I feel like that's the same with like video games, like over sexualizing women and figures and stuff. But like, I don't know. I feel like you just see that.
What are your thoughts, Rob?
Yeah, I think Jen alluded to this. I was thinking, is there two sides to this question? Are they concerned about the risque content from a discovery/YouTube community guidelines point of view.
I think that's what it is.
Or they're concerned from the audience that they're attracting. And if it's the first, the former, then just check that you are on the right side of community guidelines. You can do some research and find if other channels are doing the same thing and have the same amount of reach and success and audience. If it's an audience thing, then I guess what you make is what you who you attract and who you influence. So there does have to, I guess, be a bit of accountability, because they're saying in their message they can see who the content is appealing to. They may have to make a conscious content decision to maybe say, I know if I do this 3D print of this sexualized manga character, it's going to bring in an audience that I'm not comfortable with. Yes, I may get less views, but it makes me feel, I'm in a safer environment on my channel. So yeah, I don't know if there's an answer to that, but that's just the things I'm thinking about as a creator for that content.
Yeah. Next one up. Great episode again. Really enjoy Rob. And the chemistry between Travis and Jen is special. More shows is more better. My question.
I like that.
I love it.
More
so far.
shows is more better.
More shows, more better. My question was, do you plan on discussing video production tech in the future? Thanks for the great advice. Heck yeah. I mean, faux show. We can do a little bit here right now.
I mean, maybe from the guys, if you've listened to any of the episodes with me talking about technology, you don't want my advice. You don't want to listen to me.
Well, Rob, there's one little thing. It's not even high tech that I saw you in. So just it was a week or so ago in the live stream, you did like a studio tour. Mm-hmm. And there was a really cool little thing that you showed off to detach and attach your camera on and off that I thought was so cool. And what this is, and you'll have to watch the YouTube video to see what we're talking about.
So
tell them about it.
It's a quick release thing, and what you do is you attach devices to it, like cameras, microphones, lights, whatever, and then has a very quick release latch like that, and then it clips back in. So anybody who has a lot of equipment and finds themselves constantly unscrewing cameras and lights from stands,
I like that.
It's a quick release, and I'm wondering, why don't more manufacturers have these built in to the equipment? So I find these really useful. They're just kind of expensive for what they are. One of these is like $25, and you think, wow, that's a lot for a quick release. But then when you have 3 or 4 and you've used them for like a year, you think, oh, my, it's so easy now to just take this camera and put it in this place, or take that light off and attach it there. So obviously you need to build up a lot of equipment and have a reason to own them. But yeah, the ones I use are Ulanzi quick release. You'll be able to find them on Amazon.
That's a good one. My tripod, I have a couple of tripods, but like my main little tripod has a quick release on it, and I won't use anything else. I will stack that on books before I have to screw that onto another thing just because it has the quick release. I can't think of the name of it. It was a really popular tripod.
Trying to find this one tripod I got from Amazon that you can hold it as it's not, the thing about it is you can see these ones that are basically selfie sticks that turn into a tripod, but they're really flimsy and thin. I found ones that were really thick and can hold on like a legit DSLR on the top, but it's also you could also use it almost like a selfie stick.
Yeah, that's what mine is.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
It was expensive. It was like $120.
Oh no, yours is more expensive than mine. Then
it's worth it. I haven't destroyed it in years. Knock on wood.
Next video, of course, it will now be destroyed because you put that.
And this is from the person who ran over the camera trying to take a cool shot with the car.
I hope the shot came out. I mean,
is this going to be on the bloopers of a podcast? This, Jen, can you get that cut footage, please?
I definitely could get that footage. I thought I was very, very cool trying this out and ran over the camera.
I need the footage. That and the one where you talk about where you turn the thing off, but you forget to turn the camera off, and it starts looking at the. Yeah, we need to see.
Always, I could get you that from anything I've ever filmed multiple times. Just pick your location. I got you.
I love it. Okay, let's. Okay, that was before. Okay, This one's from again Holly, Michigan, which is a place in Michigan, I think. Y'all stink. Just kidding. I felt like I needed to tease y'all since everyone gives you nothing but compliments.
Wait, I love them.
I kind of love that.
I love them.
And then check this out. First of all, keep bringing in Rob Wilson.
Wait, what is the timing of these?
I don't know. Very strange.
It's not like Rob was on the last one.
He wasn't. And he wasn't necessarily going to be on this one. It just so happened that yesterday it worked out. Very weird.
Wait.
Okay.
Wow.
Since you target smaller channels most of the time, most of us are our own editors. There's so much we can learn about optimizing our editing and maintaining retention from him. Well, hold on, y'all. I edit a lot of stuff and so does Jen. It's not just him. Second, based on your experience coaching, do you typically see exponential growth early on for channels that continue to show up and produce content week over week? With our channel, Type to Fun, it seems like we are being rewarded for showing up and publishing week over week. Even though we're a small channel, our views and hours watched seem to be growing exponentially with each release. As an example, we've gotten more views per hour in the last 2 months than we have in the first 8. Curious if this is common. Love the show. Yeah. So I can definitely tell you that, of course it is, but it's because if for no other reason, it's a numbers game. Think about it like trying to win the lottery. If you don't buy a lottery ticket, you will never win the lottery. If you buy a lot of lottery tickets, of course, you're probably still not going to win the lottery, but you have a better chance of winning the lottery because you have more tickets. Same thing here. The more videos you have that go out, they get into people's watch history and then are suggested not only just to them, but to people like them. So yeah, of course, every time you start to put more stuff out, exponentially it can grow. Having said that, the one thing about YouTube is there's very few blanket statements you can make that are true for everybody. There are people that have been on YouTube for 5, 6, 7 years with 400 subscribers. So that's another thing. Jen, in your kind of coaching stuff, what have you seen?
100%. I mean, everything you're saying is true. And as a smaller creator, it's not even a numbers game like that. It's also like a practice game. If you're new to the platform and you're putting out 2 videos a week, you're going to grow twice as fast as a creator in your editing, in your thumbnails, in just your overall production. I mean, twice as fast as other creators. So your content's going to get better. Your ideas are going to get better. You're going to fast track that by just putting the time in and the repetition. Easily right there.
Rob, there's a sentiment between some. This is not the first message I've heard from someone say this. Like, well, have Rob on because he can talk to small channels. First of all, you have the biggest channel of the 3 of us. Second of all, you do have an editor. Third of all, you have a script writer, and Jen and I don't have a script writer, so you're the most hoity-toity of the 3 of us. But apparently,
don't you know who I am? Yes, continue.
Yeah, I mean, this comes right back down to his clout, Travis. Let's not be offensive. Watch yourself. Watch your mouth.
It really does. So you fooled everyone. Tell us more about the way you edit. Now, you do edit sometimes. You do, go rogue sometimes.
I still like to keep my hands dirty, editorially speaking, because I've always enjoyed the entire content creation process, from having the idea and turning it into a video. I've often described this as my happy place, whereby I get an idea and I already know within 30 seconds how to turn it into a complete video, and I don't even need to script it. I kind of just make it as I'm filming, and that, as Jen said, it's like that's just been built up from like YouTube muscle memory. That I've just done it so many times. And there is that, especially when you first start out, that compounding interest. As long as you're conscious of that, because like Travis, you said, some people are on YouTube for years and make hundreds of videos and just make no progress. And that's probably because they're not actually thinking between each video about like what went wrong with the previous video and how can I improve with the next one. They're just, the proverbial banging your head against a wall a million times and expecting something different to happen, which can happen with creators. So I'm trying to remember what the original question was now. You're asking.
I know. What was the question?
What was it, Travis? I was like, yeah.
You were spot on, though, Rob. You were like really.
I was
really
on fire, but not remembering what the question was.
No, that's okay. I think you answered. Basically, they were just asking about like editing techniques and stuff. But to be honest, like that's we could actually spend more time in that particular subject.
So it was specifically on like post tips.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, they asked us questions too. So it was they were just saying, have Rob come on and talk about small. I don't know why he thinks that Rob can talk to small creators.
Rob is the voice of small creators. As the biggest creator, he is the voice.
It's just because we put small channel in every single video title because we know it works.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to talk about was the first thing they mentioned really about growing exponentially, and that is something that is very common for small creators who focus on the craft rather than a milestone. Because I know a lot of people they'll say, if I want to hit 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, and they'll think about that for a couple of months, and they'll be nowhere near it. And then, over the next 3 to 6 months, they'll start focusing on improving their technique and so on and so forth. And it almost feels as if, very commonly, creators almost reach that milestone eventually, and they're not even thinking about it because, I just suddenly got 1,000. I didn't even realize I got 1,000 subscribers today. That's cool. But there were the things that they'd done in the 3 or 4 months beforehand, guaranteed that they were always going to hit that milestone, and that they were just thinking further, again, about the craft rather than milestones. And I think that's important from a creator psyche and point of view and morale, really. Because if you're wanting to hit 1,000 subscribers and you're on video 7 with 17 subscribers, the mindset is just going to wear you down if you keep having that goal in mind.
Wait,
That's
Travis and I were talking about this yesterday. We were literally talking about this yesterday. I was like, why is it anytime you take the pressure off yourself as a creator and you almost don't care about anything besides creating, you're rewarded?
Yeah, I mean, by the way, this morning we hit 500 subscribers, so that's ironic on YouTube. So, let's go. So, and I forgot about it until you just said, you focus on other things.
And it's not to not celebrate the goals,
right.
but when you take the pressure off of the milestone metric goals, it suddenly just comes together. I don't know if it's because what Rob's saying is your attention is shifted on creating instead. But I've experienced that, Travis, we've experienced that. And I've seen it with friends. I've seen it with people that I've worked with. That pressure just gets taken off and it just works itself out.
You might notice maybe 2 or 3 days beforehand that you're suddenly close to this milestone, but you already know that the speed that you're going at that point, you're going to smash that milestone. So you just carry on.
Very important. Okay, so now we're getting into the emails, the boost at vidIQ.com. We have a lot of emails. Now, the thing is, I'm going to try to prioritize newer emails over replies. We have a couple of people who replied to previous being on the show or whatever. I don't read these before we go live. This is eventually going to bite me in the butt, I'm sure. But I can tell that the first
you
two
shouldn't
people...
have said that, Travis.
Yeah, no,
next
don't worry.
week.
I'll still read them now. But I can tell that the first two, one from Old Man Gibb and one from Adrian, who are both people who've emailed in. We'll try to get to them in this episode, but we're kind of tight on time. So I'm going to quickly jump to Tom. Tom says, hi, folks. First off, thanks to all of you in the vidIQ family. Your videos, as well as the Chrome extension, have been huge in helping my YouTube channel grow. By the way, if you're watching the show or listening to the audio podcast, there's a link in the show notes for the audio or in the video description of this to take advantage to get that for free, get that Chrome extension, and come on, what are you doing? Get in there. It has made major strides in the last few weeks, and I'm eternally grateful. Well, Tom, we're happy for that. Check this out. Anyway, I've been a full-time voice actor for 20 years. Red Dead Redemption, Inspector Gadget, Mad Time Party, etc. And since 2011, I've been helping voice actors of all experience levels navigate the industry as the voiceover strategist. I help them write a business plan, set goals, market themselves, file their taxes, etc. All the poopy grown-up stuff. About 2 years ago, I started shooting video versions of the vlog I've been writing since 2008. But this year, I've dedicated to making a proper YouTube videos and focusing on channel growth. So far, so awesome. But I'm wondering if there's enough potential viewers out there to hit the mythical 1,000 subscriber goal and eventually monetize. How do I find that out? You rock. That's from Tom.
Yes.
And by the way, the subject of the line of his email is my niche too nichey. So what a great question.
Ooh. I feel like
Thoughts?
that's a video for one of us.
It's a darn good name. What do you guys think?
I don't think any niche is ever too nichey, period. I mean, will you hit 1 million, 10 million subscribers with every niche? Like, I don't think that is always there. But if I've seen an ASMR grandpa channel get a play button, I guarantee you can get a play button. I mean, at 1,000 subscribers, but ultimately the play button.
You can get an Etsy, or you can get Rob Wilson to make you one, as he makes those the play buttons in his background. What do you think, Rob, about niche being too niche?
I think there's two approaches to this. First of all, you can have viral videos very, very easily with like, I did 100 voices, accents in 10 minutes. You know, those type of videos that are super popular on YouTube. You can probably leverage shorts with that. But on the flip side of this, I reckon this is a niche that can probably attract tens of thousands of subscribers. But I think more importantly, the business that they could build up around that is like my monetization button won't work because I've not plugged it in. But so I'll do it through my own voice. It'd be ka-ching.
Wait, that's it. We're not allowing any sound effects that aren't done with your voice.
Clip that sound effect, yeah. Just the free value and advice they could provide through a channel, which then brings them into a mailing list and then onto like maybe a course, like downloadable PDFs. Like,
yep.
I am keen on how to be a better. I'm trying to think of a right. This is what I need help with, and the only word I could think of was articulator behind the microphone, which doesn't really sound like the right word.
Kind of sounds like a superhero, honestly.
Yeah.
The articulator.
Maybe that should be the name of the channel. The articulators. So yeah, I would say do the research on YouTube. Find out if there are any channels similar to your profession, because I feel as if there could be a gap in the market here. Just leap into it. This feels like a perfect opportunity to build a YouTube around a business.
So I'll add a couple things to this real quick. Number one, much like this channel where we're trying to go deep rather than wide, that is to say, we can definitely, of course, the main vidIQ channel has almost 2 million subscribers, which means there's no less than 2 million people out there that can be reached and communicated with. But we're not necessarily aiming for that here on the Boost. We're actually aiming for a deeper connection with a certain subset group of creators that want to go a little deeper. And we see that comment all the time now in our comment section and everything. I love how the deep dive, and I love the deep, like those are the words I'm looking for, and you guys are showing that this is the type of content you want. There's not as many of those creators, but we can go deeper with those content creators and create a better connection. And if at some point we want to come out with a product or something like that, we're more likely to be able to give you guys something that you guys want and, make a business out of it, a small business or whatever. So same thing with you. Now, the other thing you could do is what Rob mentioned, which is if you want to kind of go wide and you want people to see, we want more people to see your content, even if they don't sign up for your website, you could do things like Red Dead Redemption voice actor does blah.
Yeah.
That rate in and of itself is going to get people to watch. So you just have to figure out what you want. And like we always say here on the Boost, depends on what you're going for. You're going for kind of wide ranging, give me all the views, and I don't necessarily need anyone to sign up for my website. You got a lot of different angles you can take there. But if you're wanting to like increase your business, you'll be surprised at how much your business will increase with few views if you focus the right content. And I've done this with other channels before. There was a guy a couple years ago in the UK who had like a realtor business or a retail tax or something. It was very like super niche. It wasn't like a realtor, but like he did taxes for real estate or something. And when he came to me, I think he was averaging about 100, 150 views per video or something like that. We only worked together for a couple months, but we got him to a little bit over 300 views per video, which might not sound like a lot. But the reason we stopped working together, he goes, I can't get any more time for any more of the people that are coming in. If I do any more views per video, I will have to hire people. So his business blew up just because we laser focused on the people that were going to watch. So it didn't matter that he wasn't getting 3,000 views per video. He was getting the right people to watch, and all of those people were signing up. So it was great stuff.
I just did a quick search on YouTube, Travis, and I found this channel. I'll probably pronounce their name incorrectly. Javon Henry. They have 7,000 subscribers. They're a voice actor working in New York and LA. And these are their top viewed videos. I made a vocal booth for $0, 200,000 views. How to become a voice actor in 1 year or less, 60,000 views. How to start a career in voice acting, 45,000 views. So I would say that might be like the upper range of the total addressable market, which is absolutely cool. You could build an audience of, as I say, thousands of subscribers. And then it's just a decision for the creator whether they want to try and make viral content through AdSense or they want to get high value quality customers to build a business around it.
Absolutely. Okay. This is from Allie. Allie says, "Hi, Travis and Jen. Love the new YouTube channel and podcast. I have found the strategies and creators case studies so helpful. I'm looking forward to bringing my channel to the next level with your help. Quick question. Any recommendations on how to eliminate background noise on indoor videos? I'm a foster mom with 3 kids, 3 years old and under."
Oh my goodness. Oh, she's got her hands full.
"And sometimes that number fluctuates up to 5 kiddos as we take in emergency placements for kids with nowhere to go." First of all, love that. This leads to a, shall we say, challenging filming environment as at times it's like a banshee getting murdered by a pack of pterodactyls in the background when I try to film. The older ones refuse to even nap, so we need a shirt of pack of pterodactyls.
I was going to say we need merch from that shirt. What was it again, Travis?
It was a banshee getting murdered by a pack of pterodactyls in the background when I'm trying to film. The older ones
I just love this. I just absolutely love this.
I think this is going to be email of the week.
When pterodactyls attack.
We need to do an email of the week thing, I think, on this show. I think.
Allie won. So
Allie won already.
That's it.
That's it. The older ones refuse to even nap, so I have to try to film sentences in between the toddler flash mob singing "Wheel on the Bus" or "Old MacDonald." Don't worry, they're all okay.
I think this creator needs to pivot right now and just film the kids doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
What are you
Toddler
talking about?
Flash Mob. There's your video title.
This is literally the video. Don't worry, they're all okay and being supervised by my husband. Any recommendations on soundproof tiles or lapel mics that might work to reduce background noise? It's a software that can help. I'm using my iPhone and Adobe Premiere to film and edit my videos. By the time the kids go to bed, I'm too tired to film anything else. Looking for options. Okay. So I was going to say, you know what I was going to say, Rob, but she's filming on her iPhone, so she can't use what I was going to say, which is
iPhone's
the NVIDIA.
Tough.
Yeah, the NVIDIA thing. Now, lapel mics will help. There is software that can remove background noise. I'm surprised that Adobe should have something like that,
Premiere
right?
has, you can get rid of some noise, but when you get rid of background noise like that, it often makes your voice very hollow
Sounds
sounding.
weird, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is, man, this is rough because there's a software that NVIDIA has that, like, if I were to put it on, it literally would kill all the background noise. So when it first came out about 2 years ago, the really cool use case was someone vacuum cleaning. Someone literally he was like, look how cool this is. He took a snowblower, turned it on next to his microphone. You can hear it. And then he turned the software on. Only thing you hear was his voice. It was like, it was amazing, incredible. But you have to sit at a desktop and it's like so it's a little different for her.
What kind of content is Allie making? Is there a way this can just actually fit into the content? Because it sounds hilarious.
I thought the same.
It does.
Where, like, she's interrupted and it's like, sorry, toddler flash mob. Hold on.
So she has, it's homeschooling with Allie.
It's perfect.
I feel like this is a branding opportunity that she's missing. This is real life. People like real life.
Lean into it.
I would learn a lot of the really cool, funny edits and sound effects and visual effects you can do when a kid comes in screaming, like put the lines around them, fire around them and stuff. Like, you can be talking about something and all of a sudden a kid comes in, and then you just put like fire around them and sound effects and shaking the camera and stuff. That's kind of fun. I mean, we just had a blast reading your email. My guess is people would have an enormously good time watching video of that.
I mean, if the relatability is going to be huge. Who's working in a silent environment if we're talking about kids?
Yeah, I think, but we do need to be cognizant of the fact that maybe her audience is more serious than that. However, if you're homeschooling, you're probably going through this exact thing. So it feels like an opportunity. Allie, if we're off on this, definitely let us know.
Yeah,
But
I would suggest a mic anyways. Like, I would get a mic so that your audio is clear and background is minimized, but I would still lean into the interruptions. It
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So what I would do is, if you want to look up lapels, there's a couple of mics that'll plug into the bottom of your iPhone that are wireless. They're on Amazon, anywhere between like $20 and $60. Usually not all the time. If you pay a little bit more money, they're better quality. Just look at the reviews on Amazon. Super easy to come by. Start there, but consider how you could somewhat use it. Now, some of the things she's describing sound like just disruptive, but it could be kind of fun. I don't know. Let's see what happens with that.
The recommendation I had was the Holyland Lark M2. Again, this is going to be better for the YouTube channel. But these are little lav mics, which are that big.
Oh, I love it.
And then the magnetic. So, again, benefit for the YouTube viewers. But you can see how small it is and indiscreet. And
Wow.
there are options to add voice and noise cancelling and stuff. But as you say, as soon as you do that, it does sound a little compressed and whatnot. But it does also come with the adapters, to attach to the iPhone as well. And the battery's huge on them. I think it's like double digits hours worth of battery. And it's one of those products where I like to just say it just works. Like, you don't need to be technically minded to get it to work. You plug it into the phone, you download the app, and it just seems to work seamlessly. It's just the quality I'm not like super excited about. But I'm, really big on the best audio quality possible.
What was that called again?
It was the Holyland Lark M2, and I think they're about $150 for two mics and the adapters and all the
for two mics, so that's really good. You use this on a live stream, right? So people can listen to the
That's what I used on a live stream, yes.
Yes. So the live stream a couple of weeks ago, when you did the studio tour. So if you want to hear what it sounds like, that's a great place to go. I thought it sounded fine. It sounded really good. Okay, next up, SK Pac-Man is the person's name. Hey, Travis and Jen, long-time listener, first-time caller. This is a bit of a long one, so if you don't feel like reading the whole thing, I understand. It's not that long, by the way. This is much shorter than some of the ones we get. I've seen some long ones. This is not long. Okay, a bit of history. I started my content creation journey in 2016. My viewers and friends quickly convinced me to pivot to streaming on Twitch. That worked for a bit. My Twitch channel died for reasons outside of my control. I beat a dead horse far too long, believing I could revive it. There was too much history to overcome on Twitch. Okay, so basically, try Twitch, didn't work. That's all right. And he goes, this year I decided to buckle down and really try hard at YouTube and make it as great as I possibly could, which I started following advice from vidIQ and other creative channels. Cool. So here are some things. While I've learned a lot, there's still some things bothering me, and I would love answered. Some of my most popular videos are of the game Bendy and the Ink Machine. And while I love that game, it's not the only content I make. Anything I make outside of the Bendy universe inherently gets lower viewership due to that association. How do I break out of this so my love of indie games shines through? And secondly, years ago when YouTube first moved the YPP goalpost, my partner status was ripped away from me. I harbored a lot of resentment to the platform about this until about a year ago. Now that growth is proven on my channel for the last 3 months, thanks to your help. How do I ensure this trend keeps going? Hope I didn't make this long-winded for you guys. Love all the amazing work you do. Great questions. And this basically comes down to things that I say in a lot of videos, Jen, and I know you say it too. When you make a video about something that you don't absolutely love and it takes off, your channel becomes that thing. And what do you do about it? I think we all have strategies here. Yeah, that's the easy answer.
It's easy when you know that ahead of time. Like, if you know our advice ahead of time, you see that happen. Also, it's really hard to fight that creator instinct when you're getting exactly what you wanted, and to be like, oh, this isn't exactly what I wanted. But you're like, wait, I'm getting all these amazing views. Wait, I'm getting all these watch hours. And it's like, how do you sacrifice that for the greater good? Most people don't. That's like the end of the story. Most people don't. It's hard. It's hard. But, when you don't know that ahead of time, you don't really know what mistake you're making in that situation.
Rob, we see this all the time on the live stream, especially when we come across an audit channels. You'll see like a random video that pops off, and you look at the rest of the channel, has nothing to do with that content. In this case, it's not exactly that. It is a game, but it's a particular game that is not particularly interested in doing more of, and they have a passion for other indie games.
Oh, there are so many ways I could kind of approach this. I feel as if, first of all, there might be ways for the creator to find interesting creative approaches to that game that satisfy the creator side of this. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is trying to find the next natural fit for the audience. So let's say you're playing this certain game. What do you think they would play next after that game? So it might be like a similar indie platformer. And then you start to do comparisons. So you maintain the pull of the original game, but then you're kind of suggesting to the audience, hey, we're going to transition over to this, and I'm going to help you transition you over to this new game. That's another way of doing it. I think that the ideal way to do this for a creator, and we find this most often in like channels that are about movies, video games, and that type of thing, is they find a through line that allows them to go on journeys to all sorts of games or movies or like different franchises. And so that is approaching the game in some unique fashion, whether it's like, I played this game but only used the level 1 weapon throughout the entire game, or some trait or skill or angle that you can take that's your unique approach to the game and then apply it to other games. And then the audience starts to know you and recognize you and love you for that unique angle or trait. That takes time, though. That you kind of have to manifest that over a series of videos and stuff. Otherwise, yeah, they're kind of going to be stuck in this topic pigeonhole that the recommendation system seems to have placed you in, and that can be really frustrating. I appreciate.
Yeah, it is just it's the reality of YouTube. As more people watch your content and your videos get into the watch history, YouTube just tries to find more people like that like that content. And then when those people who liked that content are shown the content that you're making now and they're not really interested in it, it's this perpetual loop of, well, but I wanted that content. They don't make that video anymore, that type of content anymore, so I'm not going to watch. So the best thing to do in the case like that, especially if you're not as interested in that content, is to unlist or remove it from your YouTube channel so that it's no longer sending that signal out to viewers. And it's hard to do that sometimes, especially if it's one of your more popular videos, but it's just answering the question that you're asking us, and it really is the best way moving forward. Now, you mentioned, how do you keep your trend to growth going? You just keep doing what you're doing. If you like you said, there was a time when you held resentment and you weren't really sure about the monetization goals. If you keep pushing forward and finding the content that is working for your channel, you'll get there. Like Rob said earlier in this very episode, you stop thinking about the milestone, it just kind of happens. And that's exactly what's going to happen for you. Do the research, listen to some of the things we talk about when we give advice about looking for niches and video ideas that are going to work. Do more of that. Listen to your audience, see what they're really engaging with, and do more of that content. 100% you'll hit monetization. 100%. Okay, let's get to this. Okay, there's another one. Okay, oh, this is a cool title. When you can't recreate an outlier. This one is by Food Followers. Oh, I mean, this is going to be a good one. Okay, good morning, Travis and Jen. First up, thank you for the vodcast, or whatever your name this week. Been tuning in for a long time, but first time reaching out to any podcast we listen to. Now, can I just say something about that? Very honored that of listening to vodcast, or whatever you listen to, and we're the first one you're reaching out to. Heck yeah. Anyway, to business. On the main vidIQ channel. Oh, just so happens Rob is here.
Well, hello, Mr. Main Channel.
And the
Rob,
channel
can you redo that with your voice, though? We've set rules here where you're not allowed to use sound effects unless recreated.
Boom.
That was perfect. On the main vidIQ channel and the channel reviews you do on Tuesday. Oh crap! Now I'm locked in here. You mentioned that if you can, you should recreate or create similar to outliers wherever possible. Yeah. Our question is, what to do if you can't? We are a food-centric travel channel,
Yeah.
and our best views being on a Boston-based video that's gotten 6,000 views so far, but we live in Scotland, so it's not easy to fly over and create more. We're concerned that our channel performance may be dependent purely on the location rather than the videos themselves. Any word of wisdom would be greatly received. That's amazing. Okay. So, and they even linked to the the video, the food tour of Boston. Well, they say that they are a food-centric travel channel.
Okay.
I think this comes down to setting expectations on your channel. Are you traveling a lot? Think about it like this. If you are traveling a lot, it isn't necessarily that the Boston aspect might have been the hook. It could be that you live somewhere that's not Boston or even the United States, and you were in Boston, and it's the traveler's experience of the food there. And if you're constantly traveling, that's easy to do. No matter where you go, you're the odd person in that situation. We see those videos do well all the time. English person tries McDonald's for the first time. I guess you guys have McDonald's over there, but tries American stuff for the first time.
Yes, we
Wait,
do.
Travis,
we do.
what's the channel?
We do.
The one we just talking about?
The food one.
followers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the food followers. Food followers.
Oh,
So
that's the channel.
that's the name of the channel.
Oh, okay.
So I think, the angle for me, and we'll hear from you guys, the angle for me is if you are traveling a lot, that's the angle. It's not so much about the Boston or whatever. It's, people from Ireland or Scotland or wherever you're from trying whatever food for the first time or whatever. That's the angle. If you're not traveling all the time, then I would focus less on the location and more on the food, so that you can that way you have that in control. You can make food from another country where you are, but don't worry so much about being in that place. Jen, thoughts?
I kind of think the opposite of what you're saying. I think travel content is super dependent on where you're traveling to, and that's just the game you play with travel content. I work with a lot of travel creators, and we intentionally plan where they're traveling to based off solely the interest and views they're going to get in that country. When you have food like that, you can recreate videos like you did for the Boston. I can't find the video right now, but you can take that style video and replicate it in other places. So, for instance, if it's street food, if you're trying, not in Boston, you're not trying street food, but if you're doing a series like that, you can pull that similar interest of trying weird foods, whatever the theme of it is, to other places. But as a travel channel, some places are just going to get more traffic. That's kind of just the game of the travel thing. And it's not consistent traffic, but you can have consistent categories of content you're replicating in other locations in hopes that it carries over.
I think I
Love
found
it,
the
Rob.
channel. Is it
I
worth
was
me?
trying to find the channel.
Is it worth me sharing? Like, will people see this if I try and share it?
They can potentially, yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can get this to work.
I mean, the audio podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, the videos will, of
So,
course.
can you see that?
Yeah,
gang, first
indeed.
of all? Yeah. So I think this is the channel.
That is, yes.
There we
and
go.
So, I was thinking that just the idea is something that you can replicate, which is you look at the title and you just almost fill in the blanks. It's the best of blank food tour and then the location era. That's one way of looking at it. But I think, Jen, you've noticed here as well, like the top row of videos are all from roughly the same location, which is like New England, Maine area of the US. So,
Yep.
I'm thinking that you probably want to revisit that location as and when you're planning in advance.
You got to hit locations that are food capitals. New England's a food capital.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hit Southern California, that's a food capital. If you're, going somewhere like Florida, I mean, no good food exists in Florida, so don't do videos there. But that's exactly the plan that has to go with travel. Like, you've hit somewhere where there's several very famous foods that originated there. So I don't think it's Boston necessarily. It's the tie between the two that you've kind of really, really nailed. If you go to New York and you do a New York tour and you're touring pizza and bagels, you're going to have a jackpot there too, because that's what that place is famous for.
Do you think it's worth trying to almost replicate the location? Like, I tried to have the best Boston food in Scotland. as a
That's what I
as
was
a
saying.
I think
curious,
that's
fun idea.
interesting.
Yeah.
But I guess it would depend on the intention of the audience. Is the audience watching this because they're vacationing to Boston?
But I think the problem with this is they're implying that they can't just fly to wherever at any time. And I think the problem with that is they created a channel that implies that maybe they would. And that is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough love situation. If I
So you might
was
need to-
working with this creator, I'd be like, uh-oh, you better plan some food trips if you want to continue this channel.
Well, to be clear, if you need a one-on-one coach to help you through that, there's a link in the description and in the show notes where you can sign up here to vidIQ and talk to someone directly about what you should do and what type of things would be amazing. Okay, let's get into these last couple.
Wait, one more
that we
thing,
have.
Thomas. One
Yeah,
more thing,
go
one
ahead.
more thing. I don't
Yep.
think they have to go to the States to do this. I think there's plenty of opportunities to do this closer
of
to where
course.
they are, tying together the origins and the best of food destinations. Find them closer to you. Doesn't have to be in the States. But see how
Amazing.
that kind of series works for you.
All right, let me get to this. We have a couple of repeat ones. Let me get to one. This one's new. Okay. Hi, Jen and Travis. This is by Kev. Firstly, I just want to say that although I'm only a couple episodes in, I'm loving the boost. It's great to see this deep dive. I'm sorry, did I say this earlier? Hello? Hey!
Deep dive.
We're going to get a
Reed
shirt
said
made
the
that says deep
magic
dive.
word.
Yeah,
Can we get a sound effect, Rob?
we need sound effects for that.
I've got to animate it as well. That was a deep dive.
I don't even know what that was.
I don't know what that sound
Somebody
effect does either, but
jumping
it
into
worked.
the water.
Oh, the deep dive.
Yeah.
Wait, I
Well,
get it.
I get it now,
It
yeah.
sounded
he's
more like a
funny.
shallow dive, didn't it? So I'll try and do it deeper.
Okay.
There we go.
Jeez Louise. Okay, let's get back into this. It's great to see this deep dive, more personal type approach to growing a channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing where your journey takes you. In one episode, you talked about channels where the number of views was significantly higher than the number of subscribers and how this was a good thing. I've had an odd experience with my two channels and wanted to get your opinion on what could be happening. My 3-month-old channel, Haley Hades, a AI music channel, has about 500 subscribers. I have a viral moment with a video that's sitting around 60,000 views, and with a few low thousands. But recently, those numbers have dropped off, and I'm barely getting 100 views whenever I upload anything new. Conversely, I launched a second channel, Never Made Movies, which after a month has close to 60 subs, but gets wildly disproportionate views for such a small audience, with one video sitting 12,000 views and rising, and the most recent hitting the 2K mark. I'm just wondering if you can shed any light on what be happening here. Also, by the way of a follow-up question, could you explain a little bit more about how restricted mode works and the effects it has on a channel?
Wait, this has been a hot
Pandora's
topic
box there, haven't
around even just The Office in general, Rob. You don't know what you opened for creators and their coaches with restricted
Oh,
content.
that's interesting.
Is every coach now saying, can you just check restricted mode for me, please?
No, creators are coming and being like, what is going on?
Oh no! This is actually kind of my fault because I mentioned it in
Yeah,
a live
it's
stream,
Travis's
and then
fault.
Rob was like, "I'm gonna make a video about
That's
it."
the danger. If you mention any YouTube stuff to me, I'll suddenly think, I'll turn it into an
I'll make
idea.
a video. He says on my second channel, around 60% of my content is hidden when restricted mode is on. Yet there's some of my most best performing videos in terms of views, which is what Rob says in the video. It's that they're restricted, sure, but you still can get high performance on them. So the real answer to restricted is don't worry about it. There's videos that really definitely should not be restricted, and you can appeal them. But by and large, they don't affect views at all. So don't worry about it. Unless you're a kid's channel, in which case you're screwed.
Yeah.
'Cause
Fair.
that's really pretty much the only kind of niche that really is affected that way. And to be honest, you should never be restricted if you're kids. It just shouldn't happen. So don't worry about restricted. We're just going to pass over that question. But the view to subscriber ratio, that's a thing it's not only healthy, it's normal. You should have more views and subscribers if you want to grow. That's just kind of how it works. But it also could be that the interest in certain video topics are such that people don't necessarily want to subscribe, but they want to watch. That happens a lot. The biggest niche for that is like how-to channels. How to unclog your toilet. We talked about this before. We need to get shirts made for that. I want to know how to unclog my toilet one time. I don't need to subscribe to Joe the Plumber. I don't.
Even though we are.
Even though, Jen
Yeah,
is. She admitted
I
it
mean,
in a video.
I am.
It's something I need to know one time. I don't need it multiple times. Music is interesting. You might subscribe to a channel, but sometimes, most of the time, I don't even subscribe to the channel. I'll just listen to the song a couple times. So that would also make sense for audio. This new channel where they're doing like never made movies. I don't know exactly what the content is, but is likely really interesting to a large group of audience. And again, if you're hitting the same type of movies or content that they like, they'll probably come back and subscribe. So what you're probably seeing is viewers coming back to that. Whereas music is, even though I like an artist, there's only a couple songs I like from that artist. I might listen to one song and none of the other songs. Video content, I might watch several. So that could be going on here. Rob, what are your thoughts on this?
I heard them mention AI at one point, and that always makes me a little apprehensive as to an answer, because I still feel as if there are some odd things going on in YouTube's search and discovery around AI. Like, I've seen some channels say that they're doing really well, and then all of a sudden their views just flatline, and it happens to be AI content. And I'm not saying that their content's being shadow banned. It could be that, you know, there's a low barrier to entry to AI content, so all of a sudden that topic is just flooded with competition. So I'm curious about that aspect of views suddenly tanking. And then, yeah, the other side of it, in terms of you getting more views and subscribers, I mean, YouTube's recommending your content beyond the audience that it's already discovered previously. So just keep doing what you're doing. That is the perfect place to be. Because I will tell you, I don't know if it's the same for all YouTube users these days, but I don't bother subscribing to channels anymore. I put my trust and faith in YouTube's recommendation system, in that if I watch a video and I enjoy it, the next time I log in, one of their thumbnails is going to be on the home screen anyway, and I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. Have you ever had that moment where you're not subscribed to someone's channel and you like swore that you were? You're like, I watch your content, and then you look, you're like, wait, I'm not subscribed?
Right.
Like, YouTube does its thing. It knows.
I've been calling it subscribe but not subscribe for years. The concept behind that. So true. All right. So these last couple are ones that are people that have written in before and either just thanking us or whatever. So we're going to shotgun through these for the last couple of minutes as we're here. This one's from Destination W10. Adam, thank you so much for reading my email on season 5, episode 10. I have the UK divesting channel. Your comments truly give me motivation to press on with the channel. I cannot thank you enough for that. That's amazing.
We have seasons and episodes.
Oh, yes, of course. We're season 5. We're season 5.
Wait, that stood out to me too, Rob, and I'm like, whoa.
We need a cliffhanger of some kind.
I love it. It says he gives a little information about how he spares a fair amount of time bullet pointing scripts and creating charts and screen captures of the divestment journey of the last 15 years. His question is, do you think I should continue with my current format given the early wins I seem to be having, or should I be focused on quantity rather than quality at this stage? I'm starting to get imposter syndrome, and I do cringe a bit at my voice and body language when I watch back my videos. First of all, that's normal. That part is normal.
Yeah.
Should you continue on?
Still cringe at my own voice.
She said that the other day. I think you said that, what was it, last week or something? And I was like, what are you talking about? I think you said on the last podcast even.
Yeah.
You're on a podcast. You have no choice but to like your voice. What are you doing?
I didn't. It's still cringy.
I disagree. So I think the quick answer to this, and I'm sorry that we're having to speed through these, but we do have limited time, is if you see that your content is gaining new audience, and you can check the analytics, look in your, let's see, for any video, you click on audience, and you can see how many people are new that are non-subscribers and such. If their average view duration is within about a minute or less of your subscriber view duration, that means that the content itself is interesting enough. Because obviously, if someone's watching you subscribe to you, they're going to watch longer than someone who isn't. But if it's pretty close, that means that the viewership who don't even know who you are probably enjoying your content, which means you're moving in the right direction. That's just one indicator. It's not the only.
Maybe simplify that a touch, Travis, for how to find that information.
It's you click on your video in the studio, and in the analytics portion, that literally at the top it says audience. Click on that, and it's in that page. And
then on desktop, being able to see subscribe versus non-subscribe.
Yeah, if you just scroll down, it's there at the bottom.
There we go.
Can I quickly add one more line?
Yeah.
This was about quality versus quantity.
Yes.
I think I'm paraphrasing something that Tim Schmoyer said previously, which was something along the lines of do quantity when you want to develop your own skills, do quality when you want to build an audience. Because quantity will help you practice things over and over again, but once you've figured that out and you want to really focus on an audience, then you've got to provide them with value and quality.
This is such a cool... You know what? This email is longer, and I actually want to dig into it, so I'm going to save this for next week. This is Frank the Dank, who emailed us a while ago. I just read through it.
Frank is back.
Frank is back, but I like the question, so we're going to wait until next episode to read that one.
That's your cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's
oh my God, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, it is. Old Man Gibrid wrote back to kind of like clarify some stuff. If you remember last week, he talked about being frustrated with the viewership that he does content for. And what's interesting, you'll see later this week, I think maybe even tomorrow, this Saturday or whatever, is the video about not liking your audience. Okay, he goes, I think I misguided you in my question. I don't do comic content. I've been doing content on gaming with the goal of inspiring others through gaming, respect, and faith. And then he talked about where he went to Comic-Con in Phoenix with the intention of getting out of his safe zone, as well as, checking out creators in the public environment. And he goes, this is how I try to be. It's just me, no matter where I am, Travis. Thank you for the advice about not doing what I love as content. The main game I chose to put on my channel, I don't even play now. I'm so burned out on it. So I figured it out. I also messed up by picking a game that had a small following, therefore placed a low ceiling for growth. Woo. I'm taking 2024 off as I reevaluate my channel and direction and message. I wanted to put it out there for people that I still very much want to inspire people and go beyond what they believe they can. With the overwhelming influx of AI trash content, it's hard to become a real voice, and I'm having a real hard time identifying that for 2025. Cheers for you and everything. Thank you, Old Man Gib.
Soul searching. Here we go.
I love that. I love that, though. I love that.
It's necessary sometimes.
Let's Yeah, this is another really good one. This is from Adrian, and it's a little bit too in-depth from us to squeeze in the last 5 minutes of this episode. So Adrian and Frank the Dank, we'll do both of those next week when we have a little bit more time. So let's wrap this episode up by doing something we always do, which is, what have you watched
What
this
have
week?
you watched on YouTube this week?
So
although
for
I'm still pushing that we do a whole dedicated episode talking about what we're watching on YouTube, or honestly exposing our YouTube view history.
Listen, you can keep exposing yourself on that. I am trying to do that.
I watch some weird sides of YouTube.
Sometimes I do too, but it's almost unfair because I'm coaching, and so I get a bunch of stuff on my watch history. I'm like, I gotta watch.
No, I do that too, but I naturally watch some weirder sides of YouTube.
Are you watching Dr. Pimple Popper or something like that?
No. I draw the line there. I'm not a pimple popper person. I know people that are, and like I have a friend that like goes to sleep watching that type of content. Like it relaxes her so much. I'm like throwing up. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it.
That's
no, I
not
watch
gonna
like
happen.
etiquette videos and stuff for no reason. For the day I go to, obviously like the Met Gala or something. Just like,
Make sure you get
why
your
would I need intricate etiquette videos?
Which pinky do you put up, the left hand or the right hand? I don't know.
It's so funny. Travis, I'll send you some recs. Don't you worry. We'll get your etiquette in place.
What about you, Rob? We'll start with you. What have you watched recently?
So at the moment, it's a real challenge to navigate the endless drama videos about Mr. Beast. Like I'm just being recommended them all of the time, even I've tried not to watch a single one of them. What I have enjoyed recently, and again, this was just a random recommendation that came to me, and I clicked on it. I thought, this is my type of channel. Jared Owen, who does 3D animations of like big buildings or machinery, and like the one I watched was about the building of a St. Louis arch. Is that what it's called? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you can actually go in the arch and there's like a viewing platform. And that was really interesting. And then I got into like, he's done one on the Titanic and how a tank works. And I was just fixated on that for a couple of hours. So now, hopefully, I'm going to be randomly suggested those videos over the next months, and I'll continue to watch them sporadically when I'm just in the mood. So
I love this.
Jared Owen.
This is my favorite part.
That's amazing.
Jared Owen, searching.
Before I forget, because I will forget otherwise, one of the things we said we were going to do was a video that we shoot for the main channel, the main vidIQ channel. We were going to upload on the Boost, unedited. Jen and I shot that video yesterday. It's going to the editors now. That'll end up on the main vidIQ channel.
Oh my gosh.
It is outrageous.
It's unhinged.
So I posted a community post just asking if people still wanted to see that. And universally, everyone's like, yes, please upload it. Please, please, we need to see this.
But
it is the most shenanigans.
You know, that's always a
you'll ever see.
self-fulfilling community post when you say, do you want us to do this? Everyone's just going to say yes.
Fine by me. Listen, that's all right. I'm just looking for an excuse. Okay. So that'll be coming in the not too distant future. Jen, what have you watched this past week?
Okay, wait. There's actually a huge creator that I just got into.
Oh.
Whistling Diesel.
It's an interesting name.
Right? Okay, isn't it amazing how many huge creators are on the platform that people could just have never heard of before? So he does durability tests with cars.
Oh, are you talking about the Cybertruck one?
Yeah.
Oh, I watched that a couple of weeks ago. That was incredible. Sorry, I'm stealing your thunder, Jane. Carry on.
See, it's hilarious. It's exciting. It's so funny. So like one specific video, I've honestly watched too many to like even highlight one. The Cybertruck one, yes, hilarious. But I don't even know how you describe it. You think durability test, but pretty much he just like next level crashes, throws these cars like off of. Oh my gosh. Rob, how would you describe the content?
I would describe it as, do not try any of this at home. You know, you would usually be able to put that label on a television show, but when it's on YouTube, it's kind of a bit more closer to home. It's like, yeah, he does stuff that you really shouldn't do, but he does it, and it's like
he flew a helicopter in his warehouse. Durability testing sees how much he could possibly put a vehicle through versus another similar vehicle. So like the Cybertruck versus like a truck.
Ford F-150.
Wow.
And to see which one stands up to the test. It's something else. But yeah, that's been this week. Been quite a binge.
You really just changed my mind on the video I was going to say now. All of a sudden now I'm going to pick a different video because you reminded me of something that I watched. This is actually interesting because it's a creator I coach from time to time. They recently spun off from the Donut Media channel. James Pumphrey started his own channel called Speed with 3 E's. And great success. It now has one video in. He has 1 million subscribers now. But the
crazy.
video is fantastic. It's he calls it Why He Left Donut Media. I've been working with the Donut group for a couple of years now, and I love all those guys and gals over there. I work with all of them, even the people who've split off from the main Donut. But this video that James did is a love letter to Donut, and it was so well done. It was one of my favorite videos I've watched on YouTube, period, now. Because even if you aren't into the car scene or anything like that, the storytelling and the editing and the nostalgia, even if you didn't watch the stuff, was there. I felt the nostalgia, even though I was not like a longtime fan of the show to even know some of the things he was talking about. The storytelling, editing, incredible. Definitely check it out. That is Speed with 3 E's. The only video on the channel. He has two shorts, but one video, and he was on trending too. All right, well, we're out of time. So, of course, obviously, you can catch Rob on the main vidIQ channel. If you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Or if you're listening on audio, leave us a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast. That actually helps surface us in the algo. Yeah,
we don't accept 4 stars.
And you can put in hashtag Team Jen or Team Travis, up to you. We're not, either way, it's fine.
I mean, I feel like you could put Team Rob too. Let's not be rude, Travis.
I mean, he'd have to come back for us to make that a thing. He has to come back for a 3rd time.
Well, thank you for inviting me on again. And yeah, I'd love to join if I am welcome.
You are welcome.
You're always welcome, Rob.
You're always welcomed. We're going to have merch probably the next time you come here, though. So
with pterodactyls on it and stuff.
Yes.
100%
yes.
That's happening. Okay. That's a deep cut, but we're keeping that one. All right, listen, we got to get out of here. Jen's got to get out of here. We're out of here. We'll see y'all guys and girls next time. Peace and love.